For those of you that don't know, I have a bulging disc in my L5, and in this video, I'm gonna tell you guys exactly how I handle my bulging disc while I coach a gym full time and get 12 actual gi training sessions and 2 no gi sessions every single week, and I'm still functioning. Now, I gotta be honest with you guys, this has been a lot of trial and error, and I have had a lot of mornings of waking up. I couldn't get out of bed. I can't bend over. And if I can't do those things, I really can't do jiu-jitsu. Little brief background and history. I've been doing grappling sports since I was 4 years old. I'm 36, wrestled all the way up through my senior year of high school from the age of 4, and started jiu-jitsu in 2009. I compete at the black belt adult level, BJJ at lightweight. And let's just say we've had so much trial and error that I could give you a really good idea of what works and what doesn't work. And honestly, this has been what's worked for me, and you should always consult your doctor. But I'm gonna give you guys my experience, what I've done to be able to still train and compete at the highest level. And if you're a dad that just does jiu-jitsu and you just wanna be healthy, have fun, go in, get your rounds, go home, and go be a dad and do life, this video is gonna be perfect for you. Now, the one thing I do every single week that's pretty much, I could say I do this almost religiously, is I go to the chiropractor. Now, with chiropractors, like every jiu-jitsu gym, like every doctor, like everybody that does any job, there are those that are really good and those that are not. So with what I'm about to tell you, this goes with the assumption that your chiropractor is really good and understands how to work with athletes and all that fun stuff. But the guy that I go to, his name's Zach. He is an incredible chiropractor out of Ozark, Missouri. This guy wrestled since he was a kid all the way up through college. So he has a really high level understanding of what grapplers go through, what they're feeling, and how to get them basically performing at the level they want to perform at. But I go to the chiropractor, we do a lot of decompression and obviously get adjusted. We've done a couple different things too, like soft wave, but the thing that has helped me the most is decompression and getting adjusted. So we're gonna go in here, we're gonna get our adjustment and decompression with Dr. Zach, and then I'm gonna show you guys some of the things that I do religiously, basically for PT, to make sure that I can compete. But, well, I mean, like you guys, be able to train. But I compete this weekend, actually in 2 days at the Chicago Open. And all things go well, we're competing at Worlds at the end of May at lightweight adult. Just finished at the chiropractor, got showered up after training. We got home. I was gonna film him doing some adjustments on me, but he doesn't just pop me in every single way that you can basically think about popping somebody's back. He's always kind of feeling how my back's looking, asking me how my training's going, where I'm feeling stuff, and then he always kind of makes adjustments as we go. But like most of you that got back problems, whether you're new or you've had them for quite a while, generally like our back is impacted by a variety of different things. It's not like your bicep, oh, it's just my bicep. Like with your back, it could be your hips, glutes, hamstrings is where it is more often than not. Mine is actually more of like glute oriented, little bit of hamstring, but like more like my obliques, right? So like these guys on the side. If I said that wrong, forgive me. But what I'll do, and I'll actually do this for a warm up right before I go to train, but I'll do this as a warm up to all my lifts and what I'm about to show you, what I end up doing, what I'm gonna show you guys today. So first thing I always kind of look to do is I try to keep my hips as much as I can facing forward, and I look to rotate as far as I can one way, then I rotate to the other. For me, I notice like a lot of times, sometimes it's one way more than the other, but I can rotate further one side than what I can the other, especially as I wake up and I kind of get moving, or if I have like a decent little flare up. So what I basically look to do is I look to do 50 to both sides. Sorry, I basically count to 50, so it's like 1, 2, and then I just basically go all the way. I've already done some of these today, so I'm not gonna go do the entire 50, but there's something crazy because of how my back and the issues I've been having with my disc, is that when I do a bunch of these rotations, trying to keep my hips facing forward, so I'm not like rotating my hips with it, I'm keeping my hips forward, I'm just letting my chest rotate. This, for whatever reason, loosens me up so stinking Good. Then what I end up doing is I end up getting a barbell, which I'm going to show you guys. But because of how my back is, I generally start, and some days I only stick to like a 35-pound barbell as opposed to using the 45-pound. So I'm going to show you guys what I do with that. All right, so we have our 35-pound barbell, and all I do is I put it on my back and I do the same thing. Depending on how sore my back is, I pay extra close attention to this, but I would say still pay attention to it even if you're feeling pretty good, is I don't want to rotate too aggressively, because if I rotate too aggressively, obviously we got weight at the end of here, the barbell, and I don't want to, like, at least for me, if I'm tender, I don't want like the momentum being carried, like the inertia when I'm spinning and rotating, for it to go a little bit further than what I want. So I focus on a little bit more controlled, keeping my hips facing forward, and I just try to engage my core as much as I can. And I basically do the same thing I did without the weight, but we're doing it with weight. And for me, with where I'm at, guys, no weight on the barbell works incredibly well. The only thing I'll do if I'm looking to add weight right now is I'll bump up to the 45. But I have, within my programming that I'm working through right now, planning on adding a little bit of weight. But I actually have a really fun thing that I've been doing here lately that I'm noticing it's been getting a good stretch in my obliques, but also strengthening my obliques. I have no idea what this is called, but I've seen a lot of different lifters do this, and it's been really, really good for my core, which is then obviously impacting my back. So all I'm gonna look to do is keep everything obviously tight, but I'm gonna rotate the barbell as far as I can over, staying nice, tight, and controlled, and I rotate up, and then I go to the other side. And basically all I look to do is look to do like 10 each side. We're probably not gonna do all 10 for the sake of the video, because I don't wanna make you guys have to sit here and just watch me. But this stretch, I feel it like through my oblique, into like my hip and a little bit of my glute. Then I go back up. Then the other side, it is like the same thing. But most of my back issues are more related to my left side, like my glute and my hip. So I always feel it a little bit more when I go to my right, because it's stretching that left side. Now, since I've been using a barbell, I don't use the kettlebell a whole lot, but if you don't have access to a barbell, I feel like you can get a very similar result with just the kettlebell. So all we're gonna look to do here is I try to keep my hips basically as parallel as I can with the floor, not to move anything, but let it sink as much as I can. And then I rotate up, trying to point my shoulder as high as I can up. So I'm trying to get as much work in my core as I can. And I just rotate back down, get a nice little stretch, and do that same thing. And then obviously we'll do the other side. This is like, I always do this as a warm-up, and this has been helping me big time. And then sometimes I'll incorporate it with a little bit more weight, going a little bit higher. But this is a really good one, especially if you don't have a barbell. I still use the kettlebell. I don't do it as much because the success I've been finding with the barbell. For the sake of your guys' time, I'm not gonna take you through and show you this next part, but what I'll do is I'll actually do a lot of sled pulls and sled drags, right? So whether you have, like what I have over here, is a nice little wheelbarrow type thing to where I can carry, or I take this guy out and then I input it right there, and then I can do basically like pushing the sled, head down, arms above my head. But the pulling, walking backwards and forward has done so much for my back, it's not even funny. I think the biggest thing recently though is the rotation, and then everything with the oblique and the core has done, I feel like the most recent big thing. But I will tell you guys, I notice when I don't do the sled pushes and the sled pulls, I do notice I start to have a little bit more flare-ups. My back is a little bit more achy. The other thing that I've been working that has been working wonders over the last month is a lot of the wheelbarrow style carries, which you can think of these as like a little bit like farmer carries. You can do it with kettlebells, but I'll do it with the kettlebell, still doing the farmer carries. But the thing that's unique about using the wheelbarrow is that when I'm walking, especially whether I go at a slight incline up a hill in my neighborhood, or if I'm just kind of walking on a flat surface, the weight is always kind of like unevenly distributed a little bit because of the wheels. The wheels will kind of like sway a little bit. So as I'm walking and carrying this heavy wheelbarrow, it's like working my glutes. And man, like, I don't know, guys, I claim to be an expert in my family in jiu-jitsu. I don't claim to be an expert in any of this stuff. This is just what's been working really well for me. But whatever top part of the hamstring that kind of connects into your glute, I really notice as I like do longer distance-ish, like maybe close to 80 to 100 yards, like I really start to feel it in my glutes and like the top part of the hamstring that's like connected into your glute basically. But I've noticed when I'm working those stabilizing muscles and with my legs, all those things work together to help my back big time. The back is a really weird part of the body. I'd obviously encourage you guys always like talk to your doctor, chiropractor, physical therapist is kind of where I lean always the most to talk to, and has given me a lot of this direction with PT. The thing that's unfortunate about the back is that it's not like a broken bone to where it breaks, you get a cast, get it fixed, and you're good to go. More often than not, you're kind of, unfortunately, probably going to be wrestling with the back for quite a while. I don't want to say forever, but at least for me, in my lifestyle is literally doing jiu-jitsu every single day except for one day out of the week. I still compete at the professional level, and my life is basically centered around only my family and only jiu-jitsu. So the stuff that I'm showing you, if you guys are just like 2 or 3 times a week doing jiu-jitsu, and maybe you don't even do jiu-jitsu, you're just trying to find a different way to help your back, you're probably going to recover much quicker than what I am. Because I go to the chiropractor to get fixed up, get to feeling pretty good, do my PT, and then when I go train or compete, I basically break everything that they did. Guys, if this was helpful to you or gave you any level of hope to get a handle of your back so you could keep doing jiu-jitsu and having fun with your friends, make sure you guys subscribe to the channel. Consider being a member. You guys can see down on our YouTube page. But at the same time, I actually have a free community. If you guys look in the links down below, I've got my lapel course that's in there if you guys are interested in learning lapel guard. But in that school community, guys, it's free to join. My biggest heart with that community is having more direct access to you to be able to help you guys with your jiu-jitsu and for you to connect with other people in the actual group. There is a paid portion of it if you guys are interested in getting more access to me to let me help you be more like your step coach to help you get better faster, maybe achieve those goals that you guys have been looking at. But it also gives you access to all my lapel content and any instructionals that we actually have out there. And if you guys love the loop choke as much as I do, but you've been struggling to finish it and actually catch the choke, check out this video right here to take your loop choke game to the next level.